Good afternoon and welcome to this breaking news report. The city of Rockford preparing to host a vigil for the 4 people that have passed away after that deadly attack on yesterday. We've been following this, bringing you those live updates. You're just joining us. Rockford police on scene of a very large police presence, Eggleston Road and also Cleveland Avenue. This all unfolding just before 2 p.m. this afternoon. That's when we got word from the Rockford Police Department about this large police presence. If you just take a look at your screen. Governor Pritzker, we heard from him briefly. He came out. He mentioned that we are laser focused on economic development, and we just saw that with all of the work that's been taking place over the last few months to get the Belvedere Assembly Plant up and running, higher wages, expanded benefits, and new jobs, thousands of new jobs coming. We do know those schools are now off lockdown. She just confirmed that there are 2 shooting victims. Both are 17 years old. Both are believed to be students from Auburn High School.
We have a job to do, but at the same time, we're humans too. And we know that this was a tough moment for our community, but glad to see that so many people are coming together during such a tragic time.
And you know, you're going to be performing on behalf of Marvin Sapp, one of the big Icon Award winners tonight. Talk about when he says never would have made it, what that means for you.
And you gotta have your stance right, okay? All right. Malene. But at least I tried.
Yes, Derek, you know I'm always cold, but I came prepared this year. Earmuffs, gloves, all of that good stuff. But what I love about Stroll, they also have you prepared. Plenty of warming stations.
Mackenzie, did you bring toys?
Yes.
What made you want to bring toys?
To help kids get toys if they don't have any.
That is so sweet and such a good cause. We appreciate you, and I know Santa loves that, right?
Oh, yes. Santa appreciates all the help we can get.
Is 13 News at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. We begin with breaking news just into our newsroom. The first Democratic representative in our area calling for President Biden to drop out the presidential race. Congressman Eric Sorensen, who represents cities like Rockford, Freeport, Peoria, and Rock Island, posted this statement on his X account tonight, saying in part, quote, "In 2020, Joe Biden ran for president with the purpose of putting country over party. Today, I am asking him to do that again," end quote. Now, Sorensen then said he's hopeful Biden will step aside in his presidential campaign. And you can read that full statement on our website right now. That's WREX.com. And this all comes right after the president finished answering reporters' burning questions at a solo news conference tonight, his first since November of last year. The president fielding questions on foreign policy as well as his fitness for office. He acknowledged the demanding nature of his job, but claimed he's up to the challenge of running the country for the next 4 years.
Is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
However, his conference wasn't without some faults. More concerns and eyebrows were raised after a gaffe with the name of his own vice president.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president. That I think she was not qualified to be president.
And tonight, former Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger gave his thoughts on the president's press conference, saying there's still a long way to go before supporters say Biden is fit for the race.
And so I think everybody was kind of looking at this press conference saying this is going to be the magical thing that changes the discussion. It's not. It's going to have to be, if Biden decides to stay in this race, it's going to have to be a number of things like this. It's going to have to be a lot of traveling, a lot of activity for people to slowly kind of regain that trust that, okay, that debate was a simple fluke.
Kinzinger went on to say that these discussions are healthy for a political party in the country as long as they don't drag on until November. Now let's take a live look at downtown Rockford tonight, where we managed to dodge a lot of rain showers today. Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner joins us now with how long we could be in the clear. Alex, hot days on the way there, Alex. Thank you. New tonight, as the city of Rockford looks to expand access to the arts, tonight the Rockford Area Arts Council unveiled its cultural plan aiming to intersect art and culture with economic and workforce development and education. During the 18 months of planning, the Rockford Area Arts Council secured funding and organizational partners to help collaborate on the plan. The Strategic Action Plan is a guide with clear goals and action steps to help Rockford achieve those goals. The 4 areas of focus are inclusivity, neighborhood development, youth and arts education, and advocacy and policy. Tonight was a celebration of this next step for the city of Rockford as it works toward its vision for the future. Our Samantha Soto takes us to the Rockford Public Library with how city leaders are doing just that. And that was our Samantha Soto reporting. Now, Mayor Tom McNamara is working on an annual dedicated funding source for arts and culture events and programs. Right now, a Hard Rock Casino amusement tax is being considered by City Council to go toward funding arts and culture. Well, now at 10, the Biden administration is granting over $300 million to Belvedere in an effort to bring new life to the idled assembly plant. Here's what we know right now. The Department of Energy confirmed the Stellantis plant in Belvedere will get $334.7 million to turn the facility into an electric vehicle manufacturer. This means almost 1,500 United Auto workers will be given jobs after the plant idled in February of last year. However, there's no clear timeline for when it will open its doors, and this new project could push the opening back to late 2028. Over in Byron, the company that owns the city's nuclear power plant is looking to make some new moves on the property. The plant's not acquiring new land necessarily. Instead, Constellation wants to convert all of their agricultural parcels into industrial ones. Ogle County Board member Dan Janes previously said the change would bring, quote, very positive things around the nuclear plant. The company currently has no plans for what they do with industrial land, but tonight they're waiting for the county to collect soil samples, which the zoning board said they had until July 25th to do. Right now in Janesville, the American Red Cross is working to help people who lost their homes in a fire at the Surrey Ridge Apartments earlier this week. The complex has 26 apartments. 23 of them had residents. The Janesville Fire Department says the fire was an accident, but authorities have not released the specific cause of the fire. Organizations like Salvation Army are lending a helping hand, connecting impacted residents to local resources that can help with rent, groceries, and services. Kathy Shamal has been a Red Cross volunteer for close to 3 years now and says even though she's never gone through a tragedy like this, she wants to spend her time giving back to those who have.
If we can meet people right away and be compassionate and provide just some fundamental, mental health, psychological first aid, hopefully that will go a ways towards helping them get over the worst of this.
And Kathy is a mental health disaster responder, one of the services available through the Red Cross, along with health care and spiritual care services. In Chicago tonight, 2 men allegedly involved in a large-scale retail theft operation worth millions of dollars are now awaiting a trial. The Cook County, Illinois Sheriff's Office showed off the suspected stolen merchandise. It includes Nike Air Jordan shoes, high-end cologne, designer bags, and much more. Police say the owner and an employee of a Chicago store knowingly sold the stolen goods. Investigators say store employees allegedly instructed the thieves to steal specific items so they could then resell it. Police uncovered $2.4 million worth of merchandise during that search.
The types of things we got is just stunning, I mean, it's Prada, it's Lululemon, it's Louis Vuitton, I think Nike, Adidas, Gucci, from wide ranges of locations.
Yeah, a lot of big designers there. Now, the business owner and his employee have each been charged with 1 felony count of theft. Happening tomorrow, you'll have one last chance to donate blood while contributing to some friendly competition in Rockford. The Rockford Police and Fire Departments have been squaring off in the Battle of the Badges all week long. And tomorrow, we'll finally have a winner. But first, if you want to help save lives during a critical blood shortage, you can stop by the Rock River Valley Blood Centers on Longwood Street or North Perryville from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and pick which department you want to see come out on top. That winner will be announced at 1:15 p.m. tomorrow. And also, tomorrow means another week of Rockford City Market taking over the heart of downtown, one of my favorite events. Starting at 4 p.m., 13 WREX, we will be live giving you a behind-the-scenes look at one of the 815's biggest summer events. So make sure you come on down and say hello to our entire team who is down there. And make sure you tune in to 13 News to see all that City Market has to offer. Coming up next tonight, Destination Downtown. Our next stop is Warren, a small town with big dreams. We'll show you some of the local businesses helping to revitalize the community.
We begin the series looking at Illinois' new law banning hair discrimination in schools. We've seen it happen too often, schools policing black kids' hair. And most recently, 4-year-old Jet Hawkins of Chicago told to take his braids down by the school.
I called the legislative council that night and said, I want a bill on this. And we, 2 months later, we got that bill passed out of the General Assembly and signed into law by Governor Pritzker.
State Senator Mike Simmons, who wears his hair in free-form locks, led the charge in getting the hair discrimination law passed.
My legislation is an anti-racist piece of legislation because it makes that now illegal in all of our schools. You literally can't have a school teacher or authority figure tell a black child, your hair is unprofessional. That is no longer legal in Illinois.
So why is a law like this so significant, and what does it mean to the black community?
Be open-minded, you know what I mean? Everybody's culture is different.
That's Rockford hairstylist and owner of Love Self Luxury Braids, Shanae Curry. She's been doing natural hair since her teenage years.
I specialize in braids because braids is a good protective style for natural hair, and I really love having, our hair in this state of growing. You don't have to put any, chemicals on it.
Braids, locks, cornrows, afros. These are all styles rich in black culture, but some say it's also a breeding ground for inappropriate comments.
We know our society sends a whole lot of spoken and unspoken signals that says, your hair is not professional, is what they say. It's unprofessional, or it's this or that, and there's always some adjective that we know is usually just coded racism.
The goal of this new law is to normalize black hairstyles just like this, showing black children it's okay to express yourself and wear any style you feel comfortable with.
Wearing your hair in braids can be a part of who you are, or like your identity.
Shanae's daughter, Zanaya, who's only 12 years old, remembers what it was like seeing people that looked like her treated differently because of their hair.
When I was little, I used to watch a whole bunch of weird news things about kids getting sent home for like the color of the hair and what they've been like, what braided hairstyles they wear. And I was like, that's kind of mean. If my teachers did that to me, I would not like them anymore.
It's a feeling no child should ever experience.
We need to make sure that we create learning environments where people feel like they can show up as themselves and they can be creative, because ultimately that's how people really learn.
I feel like it's really important to let them be able to express themselves in that way. And also it just gives you that, that confidence boost. You go get your hair done and you feel like, oh, I can do anything,
Kids like Zanaya say wearing different styles is a symbol of who you are.
And it would kind of be like weird if everybody had to only had straight hair and only have black hair, or only had blonde hair, or only had blue eyes. Like, God made them different, so it should be different, not the same.
This new law is introducing an era of black hair empowerment, rejecting European beauty standards and making sure styles like this are celebrated and represented.
Whatever hair you have, however your hair grow, embrace it and, love it.
We don't want to stand in, we want to stand out.
Standing out for sure. And there will be a compliance probe conducted by the Illinois State Board of Education once a year to make sure all schools are following the new guidelines.